Well, I think I'd like to talk about the Northern Lights. Is that okay?
It's been man.
Yeah, you posted
amazing.
about that, Pastor Anthony.
Did I?
You posted something about AARP insurance.
No, listen, you posted a
You
video.
missed the letter in the acronym.
Oh.
HAARP.
Did anybody see the Northern Lights? You got out of your house.
Yeah, how
you're
many
like,
people in the
"That's
room?"
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all lying because your phone sees it. That's what. I don't know how the physical eye. I mean, barely. It's like
There's a reason that the cell phone picks it up.
What's that? EMF?
Yeah, it's electromagnetic energy, and you can see it more clearly through your iPhone, through your smartphone. Real quick, if anybody's interested in what the Northern Lights conspiracy is, and that's why I intentionally wore these pants, by the way. This is a more natural color of the Northern Lights than what we've been seeing.
Why can't you
over the
just
last few weeks.
accept that God does this?
He does. No,
Okay.
But we had people in Florida being like, I'm looking at the Northern Lights. This is incredible. And you're like, what's going on here?
Have they come this far south before?
Yeah, deep reds, yellows, like these things aren't natural Northern Lights colors. Now, obviously it can happen, but the conspiracy is just this. HAARP is an organization. Their acronym actually stands for, and they do a lot of cloud seeding stuff. They mess
What
with
is cloud seeding?
Well, we've talked about this, I feel like,
Somebody
on the podcast before, but this part is not conspiracy. Cloud seeding is a real thing, and basically what they do is they'll fly planes into the clouds and shoot iodine capsules into the cloud process to make it rain more, kind of manipulating weather. And that happens, like, you'll see it even on mainstream news. And so it's funny. I remember the first time we talked about it, people were like, is this a real thing? And it turns out, no, that's a real process. My personal thoughts on it is just simply this. Anytime we mess with things in nature, there's going to be adverse consequence. So back to the Northern Lights. Long story short would be this. HAARP is stationed in Alaska, and basically they are constantly doing testing around auroral lights, and they're basically like, they do a similar process to where they shoot electromagnetic waves into the sky, into the atmosphere. And a lot of people think that when it gets strong, geomagnetic storms, that was a big conversation with these Northern Lights, was like, look at this anomaly in weather. And so actually there's people that say, well, they do that because it increases communication for a military grid type system, and they're radio waves, electromagnetic waves everywhere. And so that's why on the phone they brighten up and appear, because your phone picks up those waves in a brighter way.
If you don't follow him on Instagram, excuse me, he posted, he was like, look at the Northern Lights. He posted this video of the Northern Lights, but it was broad daylight and it was just a plane flying through the sky.
Yeah. So the idea and the joke was like, and it was funny because somebody replied and they're like, I don't think you've seen the Northern Lights before. And I'm like,
another person
dude.
was like, I'm leaving the church.
They're like, Yeah. Pastor Josiah said once, he's like, there's somebody at my campus that said they couldn't receive from you spiritually because you're too wild. It's like, yeah fair enough.
I don't know. I will say, you sharing your conspiracy theories with a room full of people is just different. Like when we're all in the studio,
I feel like
just
he's
us.
more confident publicly.
Josiah,
this is new for me. Usually,
I think people are going to go delete their Northern Lights photos now.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
The
so
photos
are they
are
actually
awesome.
the Northern Light? You're saying they're getting the storm, the geometric storm or whatever. That's why we see them more often, or they're not the Northern Lights at all.
The post, just so you know, and my personal Instagram account is not a conspiracy channel, so it's like, this was a one-off. It was meant to be more. It was meant to be more comedic. It was like, hey. But it was a super thick chemtrail, and it was coming not just from a normal airplane, but it was actually an oversized drone that they used to do some of this stuff. And the joke, but also like playing into what was happening, was, hey, this is, they're doing all this stuff in the atmosphere. You're going to see something tonight, incidentally. That's what ended up happening. And the difference between the real Northern Lights and what people were posting pictures of, there's actually pretty substantial difference. Like, I would say, like always, do your own research, but just go look up pictures of the Northern Lights from years ago, or even the last several years compared to what we've been seeing and where people have been seeing them in the country. And you'll see that they've always had a distinct shape as well, not just colors, but the way that you see the lights, the way that the light bends. And so again, some of that, even in the appearance, people just saying, this is not congruent with how it's always been. And no matter what, there's some manipulation happening.
I did notice more blue sky during the government shutdown. Is there something to that?
Yeah. Well, hey, man, listen.
We'll be here all night if we do that.
There's somebody that replied to my story, and again, they were joking, but they were like, yep, to the first one of the chemtrail, they're like, yep, the government reopened today. They're back to poisoning people. Like, this is, and we like,
it actually was the day.
Listen, we were laughing about it, but the reality is, when it comes to weather, when it comes to communication grid stuff, a lot of that, there's some wild stuff going down. And whether or not everything that I'm sharing here is true, it's like, you read some of these articles, again, the non-conspiracy side of it, and you're like, I don't know if we should be doing this with God's creation, because no matter what, there's going